Let me go ahead with some idea for the armor. What are we gonna do with the armor? Well, first of all, we could just try to imitate the armor of the reference image, because we have that. Why not use that? So, shapes here. Yeah, I'm just creating these shapes and try to see what naturally comes out of these. And here's some sort of breastplate. And I'll just alter the line by turning the pen around, tilting it around, so I can get different types of lines. I'm not using it very efficiently, by the way, if you didn't notice that, but it's still something that I'm very much learning. I haven't had this tablet for very long. You gotta learn to use the tools you have. If you don't learn how to use your tools, then why did you get them? That's pretty much the breastplate that goes to the backside there. But it seems to me that it's going it's going too much down. It shouldn't go that far down. So again, click the lasso. Just hit Control T. Control T is free transform. So if you have the selection, you hit Control T, and then you get this free transform sort of thing. You can move it around, but more importantly, you can scale the thing down. And if you hold Shift on the keyboard, you can freely just squish it down. Let me do that again. I'm holding the bottom center control point, and then I'm hitting Shift on the keyboard and I'm squishing it down. So now it's looking more compatible with the rest of the character. This is still very much a sketch. It doesn't have to look perfect. It just gotta look... it has to look something that you can work with. Now, are we gonna do these huge shoulder things? Because this character doesn't really have them. What this character has is more like... Well, yeah, the shoulder is somewhere along those lines, but then the armor padding is more like here. So that would be more appropriate for this type of character. And I like that. If you had too many characters, Space Marines, that look like this. So let's not do that. Something there. Then we could do the center mass. And if this is feeling strange to you, we're just adding some form to the character, some detail, some sort of level of... This is probably going to be here. Okay, we have this shape is going this way, like here, but these other shapes are more of a... They're going different directions, so they're going like this. And you just gotta pick up on those things. It's not always easy, at least it's not easy to me. Maybe you're more artistically inclined. And then you have the bottom of the torso there. And if you want to do the same type of belt, we can just throw it in there. Like that. You got a belt. It's got these sort of packages here. But I'm not so sure about those. We're going more for sci-fi and not urban warfare. I'll just leave them out. And now I'm doing the arms. Something arms. Just something right. Okay. And what are these things? They look like some type of blades, but I'm not sure what to do with them yet. Yeah, the problem is I don't have a good reference for them. Maybe we just do something. I like this shape. So maybe it works out, maybe it doesn't. Let's go. I don't even know how these are attached. I didn't think this through. So now you can see a true artist at work. Maybe it's just you hold them together and they're shining, glowing blue light or something, making them zealots or I don't even know what this character is gonna be. We'll see in the end. This one seems to be a lot smaller. It doesn't have to be the same size, by the way. Maybe it's a different sort of design. Maybe we could create... Let's see here. It can be a different shape. You can just create a little asymmetry with the character and make it... I think it's more interesting because of that. And finally the legs. The legs are, in my opinion, the boringest part of a character. So if you have a foot fetish, consider yourself lucky. Just go to the general shape. Let's see, do we have a better reference for the legs? Maybe we do. Not really. How unfortunate. We can do something like this. And we have something in the way, like the arm here. Just erase it and do what you will. Keep erasing bad lines. If you have bad lines, just erase them. Look at this glow. I don't know why I did this, because I have a concentration problem, so I keep doing things that don't help me. So I just erase things that don't help me, and I stick to the ones that do. There we go. And maybe we do just tiny little legs. And there we have a basic sketch for a character. Let's flip it again to see what it looks like. It's not awful. We're just flipping the current layer. I noticed I have two different hotkeys set up for this. So one is for flipping the contents of the layer, and one is for flipping the whole canvas. So here you can see that in action. But the problem is with flipping the canvas is that, well, if we're zoomed in and we flip just the layer, it's gonna move to a different position. But with flipping the canvas, you're gonna remain in the same spot. Both of them are useful in different situations. You're just gonna have to figure it out, learn how to use them. If you want to rotate just a layer, you go to the edit menu and you select transform and flip horizontal, which is Ctrl F for me. And now, since we have the character, we can turn the blue layer off here. It is not terribly inspired. I'm not hugely keen on this design. It just looks like a generic goon. So then you start to think about what we can do to make that more interesting. First of all, these blades are looking kind of stupid. I think that's better because it's straight. The curved ones, they're gonna be a problem. And this is okay, but yeah, straighten it up a little bit as well. This other leg is looking kind of stupid because it's not following the lines correctly, so I fix that up. And if you have these very loose pants, I think I'm gonna lose this thing here and make it more of a design element. Just keep on making decisions that make your design better. We have a sci-fi game, yes, but what is the purpose of this character? It's gonna be some sort of melee character, so we want to keep him lean, but it doesn't have to be too lean. I mean, here we have a melee character here. It looks more like some sort of a knight. It's not gonna be fast, but it's gonna be very well armored against ranged attacks. With this character, I think I want to keep him more versatile. That's why we don't have these huge armor pieces for him. So loose pants, very, very loose, and fluid liquid to try to keep them something that moves very easily and also can be distracting to an enemy. So if you shoot this guy, you have a rifle, you shoot him, and you hit like right here, maybe the leg goes here, so you don't even hit him because you're distracted by the clothing. I like this sort of design element that it's protruding from the torso. It's very neat looking because you don't typically see that sort of thing. So if we were to make this a little bit different, let me make a copy so we have something saved. And let's see what else can we do. The torso is boring, so yeah. So you have something like that. It seems more organic, less like plate, more like some sort of string, some sort of like organic texture. And the armor pieces in the arms are just gonna help to get stray shots out because they're melee characters, so they have shields along the arms. So if somebody does a bad strike, so you hit the blade, but it just slips a little bit and hits the arm, you have some shielding there to keep yourself intact. That's at least, that's how I imagine it. So that's probably okay. So compared to this guy, I don't know, it's still not quite there. Let's keep going. Let me see. If we remove this sort of thing here, we make him more heavily armed. By the way, as I'm drawing this thing, I'm trying to do opposing shapes like this, because it's typically aesthetically somewhat pleasing. So as you can see here, I'm putting these lines this way, this line this way, and these lines from the shoulders to an opposite direction. So you're creating some line contrast. Now it looks like some sort of creature. Oh, doesn't matter. It's could be good. Makes it more interesting. Or when it looks like a face, you see a giant face in the distance instead of this tiny head. All right. Well, let's go with that one.